if you have to explain his behavior, make a disclaimer, if you have to get upset with people who are actually defending you and tell them that they just don't get it, you sound just like me when I was in a relationship with my idiotic ex-husband. I literally, quite literally, ended friendships with people who were defending me by calling out his bullshit. I would bitch and complain about the shit he was doing. And then when they would say, yeah, he is doing some stupid shit, then I would be pissed. All I wanted was for people to be like, yeah, you know how men are. Yeah, that's cool. That's normal. That's fine. Because my dumbass wasn't ready to leave yet. So when women come online and they're like, look, my husband packed me rat poison for lunch, they don't want you to give them advice on how to fix it. They are simply trying to gaslight themselves into believing that that dumb shit is okay. Because the moment you acknowledge that it's not okay, you're going to have to execute some major changes. You're going to have to start putting that exit plan together. You're going to have to consult with a lawyer. You're going to have to figure out how you can have a stream of income coming in if you don't have one. And you're going to have to come face to face with this idea that you thought marriage was supposed to be this fairy tale and solve all your problems. And you might even perhaps, like I did, feel like if you get a divorce, you failed because marriages are supposed to last a lifetime. So just to look inside the minds of these women who post these videos and then do a follow-up video defending the man, that's all it is. That's all it is. They just want you to tell them that it is okay. Because if they face the truth, they will have to make some major changes. And I don't know how many times I've told y'all this, but it is hard for people to pivot and to completely change habits, ideas, beliefs that they have had their whole entire life or for a really long time. And one of the biggest beliefs that we are going up against, even still in 2025, is this idea that if you are not a wife, you are nothing. If you don't have a 2-parent household for your children, then it's automatically a horrible household, a broken household, and your kids are going to end up being messed up. This idea that divorce means you failed and you've screwed up everything. The stigma of having to be a single mother. We've seen this recently on this app with an influencer saying that she didn't want to take a hospital tour by herself because she didn't want people thinking that she was just some knocked up single mom. And then there's also this idea that all single mothers are struggling. They all are not. The only way you would be struggling is if you did not have a source of income and you are starting from ground zero. But I know so many single moms, myself included. It took a lot of work, but I know a lot of single moms who are doing much better by themselves than they ever did with a man. Misery loves company. So these women are coming on here looking for other women to be like, yeah, my husband Bill does it too. My husband Bill packed me a box of Staples for my lunch. Oh, really? Well, Sally, I can top that. My husband John packed me a cup of Clorox bleach for my lunch. What? Our husbands are so crazy, aren't they? They're so quirky. You telling them your husband ain't shit and he hates you, he doesn't like you, how wrong that is, even though you're in defense of them. And you're telling the woman she deserves better. That is not what they are wanting to hear. Their heads would implode, basically, if you force them in some way to turn their whole entire world and belief system upside down and to challenge things that have been deeply ingrained into the fabric of who they are. Because if we didn't live in such a patriarchal society, we would stop vilifying divorce and saying that it's the worst possible thing that can happen to somebody. We have to stop saying divorce is not an option. Yes, the fuck it is. We have to make it okay. for women to be able to do that without feeling as if they failed and something's wrong with them. If we didn't live in such a patriarchal society, women would actually believe that they deserved more and they wouldn't put up with men's shit. But from an early age, I remember being conditioned to believe that men act like little toddlers that you're supposed to take care of. So it's funny that your husband can't put his socks in the dirty clothes hamper. It's funny that he doesn't know how to cook. It's funny that when you leave him with his children, he calls you 15 million times and asks when you're going to come back home because he doesn't want to have to change their diapers. But on the flip side, we cannot shut up, okay? We have to keep saying your standards need to be higher. This shit is wrong. Because for the most part, there are going to be some women who never get it. And they're going to be married to these men well into their old age until death do them part, quite literally. But there are some women who you plant that seed in their head and one day they will wake up. And that's what we're doing this for. That's why even though this is frustrating and we're tired of seeing these stupid ass videos pop up and the defense videos, we're tired of seeing it. We as women cannot keep our mouths shut. We are our sister's keeper, because I was once that hard-headed ass woman who would literally fight you to the bloody death if you said anything against my abusive ex-husband. But if it wasn't for the women who refused to shut up and tell me the truth and then set boundaries with me whenever I did want to just bitch and complain and not do anything about it, I would not be the person I am today.